So this video is generally going to be about the purpose of adventure in male life and why I think it's so deeply important. Now, adventure doesn't just mean going out and exploring and doing new things and going on a trip and all that stuff. That includes what I'm about to talk about, but I think adventure has got a much broader scale. The whole life as an adventure, if you look at your whole life as an adventure, it stems very much into the characteristics of masculinity. So the characteristics of masculinity being striving towards your purpose and working hard, being stoic, etc., etc. And I believe that if you are setting off in your life as a man, maybe you've just turned 18 and you don't really know what to expect, then a good way to look at your life is to see it as an adventure you're about to embark on. And having that holistic sense of adventure in your life is going to create that sort of fulfillment within your masculine soul. So you're always going to be looking at your life from an angle of enjoyment rather than of struggle and pain and misery and being boring, etc. It kind of relates to a revelation that I've had recently in terms of my work, where I've not really been enjoying work solely because it's taking time away from what I really want to be doing, which is recording videos, working on the business and training. And I don't know what struck this. I believe it was Saturday night. I was sitting on this sofa here and I just had this inherent feeling of discomfort within me, so I turned everything off, turned the TV off, put my phone to the side and just sat there and felt what that felt like and try to figure out a solution. So I picked up my journal, which is sitting here, I took my pen, I just kind of sat there and anything that came to mind I would just kind of jot down. And I spent the first sort of 15-20 minutes writing about how miserable life was and how much I hated my situation and just a load of negative bullshit. And I sat there once I got that all off my chest and realised that I came to the solution of why I need to, trying better at different things. So for me it was physical fitness. I feel like I've got my strength to a point where I enjoy it, my physique to a point where I like how I look and how I feel, but my actual physical fitness has declined, and that knowing that I couldn't just sprint away instantly from danger or something, it puts me a little bit on edge, knowing that I couldn't just go onto a rugby pitch now and just be like that, just be good and have that full confidence knowing that I could last the game and be impactful for it. And that revelation, my mood actually, when I say my mood just snapped, it was literally I was sitting there miserable as shit. When I made that realisation, I just felt this elation going on in my head, and it's kind of led me through the sense of the last few days to realise that this adventure of life I'm on is completely different to what I thought it was. I've always had that view, but I kind of forgot it for a moment, of looking at life as an adventure, looking at it as a stumbling block with problems to solve, things to improve on, things to learn. And it made a massive difference to my mood this week, and with work it's been most apparent. I'm doing a few more hours at work at the moment with things shifting around there, and it started making me look at it from a more positive angle. So instead of looking at work as a burden or a chore, I've realised that it's an opportunity for me to make money. Every day that I'm at work, I'm making money that day because I get paid by the hour, and that's kind of lifted my elevation a wee bit from where I was before, where it felt like I was making no money because I only get paid the one day every month, and obviously the business it's still getting off the ground and stuff, so that feeling of not making money was just weighing down on me so heavily with these bills coming in and everything that I need to pay and need to feed myself, and it was all getting a little bit down and gloomy until I realised that you can look at the life with that positive aspect, and you are on that adventure of life. Being able to view life that way this week has changed everything. So every time I go into work, for me I'm going to get paid today. I'm not actually going to get the money in my account, but what I'm doing today is making money. And honestly, my performance at work has been so much greater. It's not a difficult job. It's more about the social interactions with the guests and making their experience as good as it can be, rather than just the moving bags and such things. It's about having a bit of a laugh and joke with them and telling them where they can go and giving recommendations and just trying to make their experience a nice time. And I feel like I've been in a better position to be able to do that now that I've changed my perspective on how I'm looking at the next few days. And I made a video, I think it's my last video or 2 videos ago, about being pissed off with your situation for motivation. Now, I'm still pissed off that I'm broke, but if I'm going about every day pissed off, I'm not actually going to change anything by being more pissed off at certain activities. Like, I can still be pissed off when I'm on my own working and doing shit and going to training. I still train with that rage inside me with, like, I feel like I was thinking about it the other night. Like, I train like I'm some orphan that's never seen food and water or been to a restaurant or ever had anybody say that they love me and stuff. That's how I train. Like, if you watch Rocky montages, that's how my training has felt for the last few weeks, and it's been great. It feels like I'm living in a movie, like I'm on an adventure. It just brings this deep enjoyment to my life. And for me, even if you use that angle when you're on leisurable activities, maybe you're going on a night out, maybe you're going on for me it's like my bothy trips, and maybe if you're going on holiday, it's all sort of mini adventures that you're going on, and I feel like that brings a certain fulfillment to your life. I think the most important layer of that all is to have that holistic view of adventure over your whole life, and then you can break that down into having like smaller sort of missions on your expedition. Like, you want to achieve smaller certain things that give you enjoyment. And I just don't think that a man can be truly happy if they don't have adventure in their life. Even if you have your whole life as feels like an adventure, I feel like having smaller little adventures that you go on every few months or something, it brings that realization of the beauty of life back into your perspective, and it kind of reinvigorates your soul to be attacking your main goals with more purpose and intention. Now, this kind of goes against that conventional sort of hustle culture idea of you don't have any fun, you just work and you work and you work, and that's all you do. Everything's directed like that. At the end of the day, I think as human beings you do need an element of leisure, and I've spoken previously about figuring out what your sense of balance is. And for me, because my inherent purpose for rugby and for overall inspiration and all of that kind of takes over so much of my life, and it means so much to me, I spend most of my life doing that, and I find it deeply entertaining and deeply fulfilling, working towards that and having my day-to-day, like, for a normal, I don't want to say a normal person, but it is, if you look at how society is now, it looks completely boring and unenjoyable, but for me it's unbelievably fulfilling, and I couldn't think of a more entertaining way to live life, of just working and going towards my purpose and having that long-term build-up of habits to breed a massive moment of success that could inspire millions. There's something about that sense of adventure that comes into that just feels like I'm building a story, I'm building a house brick by brick by brick. Every single day when I wake up, I've got stuff to do, and it's so entertaining. But what I've realised over these last few weeks is that sometimes you just need a day of just doing something completely different, going like a new experience. Last week I had an opportunity with work to go for a whiskey tour and at Johnny Walker in Edinburgh, and then we got a meal at the restaurant there, and I sat for a wee bit in the bar afterwards on my own and just had a night off. Like, I still got my gym work and stuff that I would have been doing then anyway, and I got probably 2 hours worth of work done in the morning, which would have been more than what I would have done if I had to go for a whole day of work or anything. So I had an extremely productive day anyway, and then I managed to go on a mini adventure and experience something new, experience a different side of life. And I think adventure, just every time I do have these small adventures in life, it just brings me back into focus, the inherent beauty of life as a human being, of life as a man. I'll say here right now that I do not believe that I would enjoy any other existence than the existence of a masculine man. I truly believe it's the most enjoyable and most fulfilling way for me to live my life, and that's a message I really want to push on to you as the viewer, Of course, it would be lovely for me to meet a woman who believes that the most beautiful and most fulfilling way to live life is as a feminine woman, because then that means she's living authentically and truly to herself, and she'll be more beautiful because of it. And that works the same for a man. I feel like there is simply no greater existence for me than to live the life of a masculine man, that life of adventure and striving towards that purpose and the mission that is greater than myself. I will not accept to live another life. I'm completely happy and fulfilled by the life that I'm living, but that does not make me not want to achieve more. The whole concept of masculinity is this idea of continual and perpetual improvement. I've said it time and time again that you'll never get to a point in life achieving something and not want to achieve more on top of that. Because as a masculine man, you always want to be working towards something. There's always some purpose or some adventure that you want to embark on, because it's so internally fulfilling and entertaining as a man to be adventuring. That's the essence of this video. That's the message I want to share. I don't have anything else to say on the subject. I hope you've enjoyed this video and found a lot of value in it. I'll see you guys in the next one.